All right, tomorrow night at Baxter Arena. So a great opportunity. If you've not seen Omaha men's basketball play, no hockey this weekend. They're out of Denver. That's a monster series for the Mavs against the defending national champs. So it is basketball only at Baxter Arena. The men play tomorrow night against Denver. Start of the second half in the Summit. Omaha's tied for first. Despite what people are implying, the season did not end in Vermilion. They actually have a second half of the season. Now, I say this a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'm getting this of like, oh, are they still going to do the promotion? Because all the promotion is they've won 9 in a row. I just heard the ad. The athletic department, which I love, I think it's a stupid, great promotion. Yeah. And I used to be in that world. But, there was a little bit of karma. Why would you? I know they want to sell tickets, but why would you announce it before they play a game like, Wednesday night and they lose? I'm going to say that's the reason that Omaha lost.
Probably.
But it's been kind of a neat thing for Omaha men's basketball is they have a trash can celebration. So after every win, Kyan Brown comes into the locker room and they kick, they hit, they belt a trash can. It's a celebration that has taken college basketball by storm. Barstool, CBS Sports. Yeah. I mean, it's gotten a lot of run, and it's a lot of fun, and the guys like it. I think all of us were surprised how much it took off because it's been kind of a private thing that not until they started showing some viral videos after the North Dakota State comeback win, people outside didn't know it was happening.
Yeah.
So it's cool now that people get to see that because, this is a really fun basketball team. So they're doing this promotion tomorrow night where for $5, 5 gallons, you can get popcorn. So you bring your own can for $5. They're going to fill it at a select concession stand with popcorn. It's a funny, stupid promotion.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the
clean.
one. So I think this is a takeoff of was it Cinemark where they have bring your own tub?
AMC, I think.
AMC,
yeah,
where they have it once a year where you can bring your own, you can fill it with popcorn. So this is fun and it's drawing attention, and Omaha's drawing actually really well. They're a fun team to watch. Big game tomorrow night against Denver.
They're a fun team to watch.
So 7:05. So we're going to give away 4 tickets. Now you got to bring your can. They have already gone to the Walmart at 72nd and Pacific and bought out all of the $5 gallon.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thankfully,
I think they're giving them to the first 100 students.
Okay, cool.
So I'm hoping that people not only eat popcorn, but that they bang the trash can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Noise.
I hope that becomes a thing. Like Mississippi State has their cowbells.
Yeah. And Omaha's got their trash cans.
Omaha has their trash cans.
The Astros did too. It worked out.
Like it's only 5 gallons, so it's one you find like in the bathroom. It's not like one of those big tubs. Where
No.
But I hope that people beat their trash can either on each other or on seats or on the aisles or railings to make a lot of noise. That would be kind of unique.
Isn't that going to be weird a little bit for Denver when they're at the free throw line? And they got a couple big shots, and people are banging on trash cans, waving trash cans.
It'll sound like basketball.
That'll be great. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, the other part of transitioning to being a good basketball school, I got to teach the students how to be basketball fans. They support, they travel, they don't know how to be basketball fans.
Yeah.
That's kind of the next thing with Omaha Athletics is you got to teach people how to cheer at basketball games. Yes. I know that sounds crazy.
Hire my drum friends from hockey.
You got to know when to get excited for a 3-pointer or when momentum is swinging. There is an art of knowing when to stand up and to start clapping on defense and to start trying to change the tide. You cannot do it every possession. It's kind of a feel gut thing.
I mean, we had
an applause button.
They brought the students. There was a bus full of students that came up to Vermilion, and it's great because Bill Pickett, who's in charge of that, they go to a lot of road hockey and basketball. Just got to teach them how to cheer when it comes to basketball. But the crowds are getting better. I think it'll be a big night tomorrow night. Every Saturday night game in that building. Again, there's nothing else going on.
Yeah.
And Omaha's a really good basketball team. So we're going to give away 4 tickets. Now, we don't have trash cans to give away with this.
No.
So make sure that you bring your own can tomorrow night.
Make sure it's clean.
And
the rule is, again, it's a max 5 gallons?
Yeah, the little one.
Yeah.
Not the one we have here in the studio.
Yeah. You can't bring in a dumpster. You can't wheel a dumpster into Baxter Arena, but which would actually be kind of funny.
That'd be so funny.
They actually should roll in a dumpster that has been used and put it right next to the Denver bench.
Nice.
Yeah, smell that, you filthy animal.
Dave the dumpster.
The first correct caller on this answer. So this promotion was started with Kyan Brown. He came into the locker room, didn't like the mood of a team. This is back in December, and he kicked a trash can across the room. What game was that he did that?
Good question.
Now, if you know, and then I know that you will go to the game tomorrow night with these 4 tickets from Gary and Matt. 402-951-1620. You can even go online, look up the schedule. What was the first game that the kick the can became a thing for Omaha men's basketball? 402-951-1620.
Love it. It's a great question.
I was on a radio show yesterday.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing they asked about. They're like, what is this thing? It's great. It's great. It brings promotion to Omaha men's basketball, and it brings promotion to the Summer League.
I still think they should have mini belts that they just kind of bless it with, just a
corporal punishment night.
No. That'd be one hell of a promotion.
That'd be
canceled.
That may be our last days.
Yeah. That might be the last game of Omaha men's basketball. Come to corporal punishment night at Baxter
Old
Arena.
school parenting night
Oh
at
my
Baxter.
God. They give out rulers. Everybody gets a ruler.
What's the electrical cord for? If you know, you know.
All right, so bring your own can, and we'll give you 4 tickets so you can bring your own can. 402-951-1620. What was the first game that this I don't know, it's not really a promotion because it's like a thing for the team. That this became a thing. What game was that?
I guess you're right because they didn't schedule it like all the way like months out of the year because typically promotions it's like, hey, it's JJ White bobblehead night or it's Tony Osborne shooter sleeve night. Like it's one of those things. It's not like this was very impromptu. Hey, kudos to them though. Like they got their heads together and they said, how can we try, to
Jordan and Adrian and Zach all got together.
Exactly. And try and get this thing going and more people. So when I went to my first game against Kansas City, it wasn't, there was a decent amount of people. But then when I went to that St. Thomas game, I mean, it was almost like twice as many people were there. So I'm really excited to see, what the turnout's going to be for tomorrow's game with this great promotion.
I don't know if Jimmy knows the answer to this with people calling. He's going to ask me now what was the game.
All right, I'll mute the microphones.
It was the game before Christmas, Jimmy. It was the game after Iowa State.
This one that I'm putting on hold actually had nothing to do with the contest. It's just a coincidence. So keep calling.
All right. So this person wants to be on the air? Yeah. Okay. 402-951-1620. Now you know the answer over there, and now I've given away the answer, which is fine.
It's okay.
All right. Hope to see a lot of people there tomorrow night. I really do, because this team is good. This team is really good. They're in first place, tied for first with St. Thomas.
They are good.
All right. Here is Sam. Good morning, Sam.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Sam?
Are you there?
We're here. Are you there?
Oh, hey, hi, hey, Gary. Yeah, Sam Stinson. So, I
You're
wanted
up
to,
early.
I wanted to, in all honesty, I'm making my way out east. So,
okay,
I'm in Nebraska right now. I went to the game last night.
Why didn't you let me know?
I know I should have, but in all honesty, I had to get up this morning. I'm working East Coast hours right now,
he knows what texting Gary Sharp at a basketball game entails.
Hey, and I can sympathize with you because I heard your voice. I just listened to the first segment this morning, and I could tell it was a lot late night. But the one thing I agree with a lot of what you said, and I'm a homer. But
no, let me preface this before you go further. So people recognize your voice and they know we talked before. You are. Is it safe to say you're a bigger Nebraska basketball fan than football fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's my first love.
Okay. So people now know where you're going here.
It's my preferred drug. So but I listened to it and the way the context that you all put it in, it didn't sound like we beat a ranked team. It just there was just no hope or joy. And I get it. They did. I said it, but I mean, I said it besides what you said previously, 2 weeks ago. Bryce Williams would be an unbelievable number 2, an unbelievable number 2, but he is the number 1. I believe in this team. Why? Because they do have to play hard to win, but they're pretty deep too, which is weird. They can play a lot of guys and they can play a lot of different ways. And I think there is a shot for Nebraska to still make the NCAA tournament. I'm not hanging my hat on it, but I do believe that they have a decent resume right now, and just go out and win. The Big Ten's eating their own, everybody's going to end up in the top 80 of the net anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody might end up in the top 80 of the net. And so there's never going to be a bad loss. Don't lose to Minnesota at home. Go out and beat Ohio State at home. I mean, they're going to have so many quad one opportunities that I think I said you can get 2 on the road and you can win 4 at home. You can win 1 or 2 in the Big Ten tournament. You're in. You're in. You know, I mean, that gets you 21 wins, 20 or 21 wins, and because your net is going to be 40.
Yeah,
probably.
Sam, I'm with you. I think 21 is an important number, but that's probably going to include a couple of wins in the Big Ten tournament.
Sure,
that's
sure,
tough.
and I don't. There was no doubt that I thought Nebraska. There was no way they were going to miss that Big Ten tournament. I didn't think that Juwan Gary, and I don't think Bryce has that alpha leader type, rah. I think Raleigh Worcester kind of has that in him a little bit. When I watched him last night, he was directing guys, and I think he's a very important piece. But don't be shooting the first 3 shots in each one of the halves and in the overtime, because it's just not your game. But I looked over to my buddy Kreckler, who actually went to the game with me. And I said, when Ulis and Estesian came in, I said, watch, Ulis will get 2 or 3 assists just to Estesian cutting, and he did. Like that. I mean, it's there are ways to win with this team, but they do look a little, and unfortunately, it's almost February. They do look a little discombobulated at times, and that's what worries me, is they just don't play together. But I have hope, and I believe that they will. I'm guessing that they'll get 20 wins in the regular season. I'm guessing that they will will themselves somehow, some way, and that's false hope and broken dreams right there. But that's okay. It really is. I'm a homer, and I just pray and keep winning, because it makes Nebraska look better, because it makes that resume look makes Nebraska's resume look good. But next time I do go to a game, Gary, I'll holler at you, and we'll grab a drink.
Hey, let me ask you this, because I'm trying to dispel people that keep knocking what's going on inside of PBA that are not there and going, well, I got John Rothstein going, well, the crowd is dead. What'd you think of the atmosphere last night?
I mean, okay. I was one of those people at the end of regulation that was just like, ooh, man, this is gonna happen again. Huh.
Yeah. It's the here we go again Nebraska basketball fan syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
you're right. But one thing I will say is, it's Nebraska basketball. It's a 7:30 tip, and I looked at it. The 300 was pretty sparse, but people were still getting into it. Mm-hmm. Nebraska basketball fans are people. They need to be good for them to cheer loud. They aren't going to just come there. They aren't, if Duke was 6-12 right now, people would still probably cheer pretty darn hard for them. We just don't have that. It's like Nebraska football. People would cheer hard. People cheered hard at 3 and 4 in the middle of the season. Back in 2022 or whatever. But Nebraska basketball fans, they do show up. So I appreciate that about a team that lost 6 straight, and you're still in the conversation. I called when you were gone, Gary, and I said, what makes me, you're talking about firing Fred. I said, the perfect reason why you don't fire Fred is because they've lost 5 straight, and they're still in the conversation for the NCAA tournament. You would kill for that as a Nebraska basketball fan over the last decade and a half. You would kill for that. In late January. That's something that you want to have, and that's kind of what our expectation was. And then they would go 12-2, and they pee down their leg at Iowa, and then you're like, oh man, okay, well, this team is different. Well, maybe not. And after that loss at Wisconsin, it was the first time I was just like, my expectations for them was wrong, and my expectations right now for them is still not what it was at the start of the season, but they did beat a ranked team, number 10 in the net, by 6 at home, albeit, who didn't shoot well, but still they beat a ranked team, and that is something that you got to just keep. You got to find your wins somewhere. You got to find them, even if they're false wins. You got to take those and be like, hey, you know what? We're back on track to where we want to be. And I hope you're wrong about saying they're in survival mode, because that is not a good place to be.
No.
But the prospect of being hung in the morning focuses on.
Well, this is a good discussion. Like, what's our tone next Friday? Sam, I appreciate it as always. Thank you, my friend.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Sam.
So they go to Oregon on Sunday. Then they have Washington on Wednesday. And then they have Ohio State next weekend at home. So what's this conversation like next Friday with a split on the Pacific Northwest? Bart Torvik says split, but winning at Oregon, losing at Washington. Now, Oregon won't be, the rankings will still be as they are on Sunday, but Oregon won't be ranked anymore. Well, we'll circle back to this discussion on Friday, next Friday.
Have to go 2-1.
All right. We'll take a quick break, come back. Winner, Jimmy?
Yes, and Alex, congratulations.
Alex, we'll see you at Baxter Arena tomorrow night.
He is pumped.
Bring more people. You see the Pioneers of Denver tomorrow night and the Mavs.
Bring 3 people, in fact, because you have 4 tickets.
And bring your can.
Love it. Bring your trash can.
Gary and Matt and Jimmy in 1620 The Zone.